So, as you read from the title, I, as a sprout, was able to clear an ultimate in under a week. To be more exact, it was 5 days. But I wanted to talk about my experience, and also, if you're thinking about getting into ultimate rating, I want to be able to at least tell you that you can do it and just, give you some information just in case you really want to try it. And if you don't believe me, I'm still a sprout. I also have 5 clears for Uwu. That's the one I ended up doing. I forgot what the other ones I have for. I think it's Black Mage and something else. But yeah, just I've cleared Uwu 5 times. Uwu being the collection of the ARR trial bosses such as Garuda, Ifrit, Titan, and Ultima. I spent 5 days grinding it very hard, so I kind of went a little bit hardcore-ish, I guess you could say. I mean, I spent like, if I wasn't with my friends or at work or my girlfriend or sleep, I was raiding. But anyways, I just wanted to step in the middle. Anyways, basically, I think anyone can clear an ultimate raid. It doesn't matter if you're a sprout, it doesn't matter if you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. As long as you're willing to put in the time and the effort into either learning the fight or being in there and learning it by hand instead of watching through videos, I think that's totally fine. But everyone can clear it. You just have to be in the mindset to do it. There's so many times where people say, "Oh, I don't think I could ever do that. That's too crazy." But you really can. I mean, I'm an example of that. I mean, I started Final Fantasy in September and cleared in October. Yeah, so I did so there's 2 ways you could do an ultimate. You can PF it, which stands for Party Finder if you're not well aware, and then you could be in a static. I went with PF because the static I'm in is for Savage content in Endwalker that I haven't even gotten to yet. So the only way for me to do it was PF. So I PF'd it. I spent the first day learning all the mechanics of the fights. Um, and yeah, I watched the video, Telson's guide. I watched Telson's guide for about 2 weeks straight, to understand the mechanics because I know that a raid is going to be extremely hard. And so I wanted to memorize what was going to happen. But even watching that guide 100 times, I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter how much you watch a guide until you step into the instance. Because you can be like, oh yeah, Feather Raid's coming soon. And then all you hear is scream, oh, I need a move. Dead. You're too slow. It's something that you have to repeat over and over and over again to understand how to move and how to not make the same mistakes over again. Because of that, what I did was I actually recorded every single pull that I ever did on Ubu until I cleared, so that way I could see every mistake I ever made. I looked at my movements, I saw what I was doing wrong, where I messed up in my rotation, and it really helped. Being able to visually see my own problems, because you could watch a guide, they'll do everything seamlessly and everything perfectly, but like, that's not you. And some people get disencouraged by that because they'll be like, "Oh, the guides are so easy. Like they make it so, and the fight's so hard. How do they do it?" It's a lot of practice, and being able to know your own faults, your own quirks, all that is things that you will learn over time. Another tool that actually helped me was FF Lux. I just want to say I really was scared of using any type of FF log because parsing. I'm not gonna say I'm the best parser. I think I'm the worst. I choose mechanics over DPS because I don't want to die. But I try to still do my best to DPS as much as I can without dying. But when you want to learn your rotation or you want to see what's going wrong, FF log is a very good place to turn to, especially since like there were some braiders. There, there was a person I looked up because I knew that they were very good at their job, and I just copied their rotation and movements, and because of that, I was able to do much better. There will be a lot of times where you might get disencouraged because the biggest problem with PF is that people lie about where their prog points are, or people are not, it's not really lying, but it's not really where they belong. Like, I'll use an example. I was streaming prog on T, which is the Alexander one, and I was on Living Liquid cleanup to LC to limit cut, and there was someone who advertised that in the PF, and also advertised that they would be using Discord for callouts. So that way, I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. And then they posted in the thing. I was like, fine, I'll join it. And this person, I could tell that they never got past Living Liquid and never saw Limit Cut. Based off of the fact that they were speaking the rotation nonstop and saying things like, according to my calculations, in 3 seconds, this will happen. Three, two, one. Wait, nothing happened. Oh, wait, it's happening now. Like, things that, like, people will lie or, like, deceive where they are. I'm not gonna lie. I've done that a little bit, but at least it wasn't for, like, how do I say this? It wasn't me trying to progress further than I already was. It was already someplace I already been, and it was just me just like messing around on a different class. It wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing. But that's what prog is for. Now I'm not going to say you should go out and lie about PF. No, that's bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Prog, take your time. Even though it took me 5 weeks, 5 days to clear Uwu, it might take you 2 days. It might take you 2 weeks. Everybody goes at their own pace. The only thing I will say is that you need to really invest yourself into it. Doing a half-hearted investment into an ultimate will not really go too well because there's so many things that happen at once. Everything is fast. By the time you see AoE markers, a lot of the times it's basically because you're dead. You have to be willing to learn the fight. You have to be willing to put yourself out there to try to be, how do I say this? Not ego, um, be aggressive. I want to say, push yourself. That's what I was meaning to say. Yes. Because when I first started raiding and I was PFing, like the boys will tell you when they were when I was in the Discord and they were watching me that I was shaking sometimes. Like doing ultimates, you're gonna get the shakes. If you don't know what the shakes are, it's when your mouse is like this. Either by too much stuff being like on the screen, or you're just going to be nervous. I remember my first clear, and I will say, uh, I was struggling to get my clear. There were 3 days where I was like, or like two, I think there was like 3 days where I was trying to get my clear, and people kept ruining my clear runs, even though I set it to duty complete. So they were either paid legends who didn't know the fight, someone on alt class, or they haven't done the fight in a long time. But I was lucky enough to meet someone who is part of what is called the Ulti Project. It's a bunch of raiders who are in a Discord, uh, and basically, if you're stuck on your clear, because people are grieving, people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's not your fault. They can help you. Not only that, but they also apparently do prog, like raid progs. I have never done prog with them. I only did clear, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it. Ultimates are extremely fun. The music is amazing. The fights are challenging. There's nothing I would there was nothing I would say other than give it a try. If you're thinking about ultimates, give it a try. It doesn't hurt. Just learn the fight, understand your job, and try and not hold people back. And if you make a mistake, please, 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 please own up to it. Own up to it. The last thing you need to do is turn eight man a whole 8-man raid into a giant whose fault fest. There's so many times where people are just, oh, it's your fault. Oh, this person didn't do this. That person didn't do that. Why isn't this happening? Why that happen? All that just goes on. Just own up to your mistake. Call it out. The difference between a good raid group and a bad raid group is communication. That's literally all it boils down to is communication. And if you think I'm joking, the fastest times that I've cleared or re-cleared or even progressed or anything is when everybody has an open communication and is willing to talk and take fault and take responsibility. If you can't do that, it's going to be really hard for you to progress or clear. Communication is one of the biggest parts of raiding. But yeah, I'm just really happy I was able to clear Uwu 5 times, and I'm having fun progging T. I can't wait to when I finish Endwalker and I'm able to do DSR and top. That will be so much fun. I really love raiding. I know not a lot of people might like it. I know it can be discouraging for a few. Being wiping a couple hundred time in order to clear, but it's really worth it. The fights are amazing. The music is amazing, and the feeling that you get when you clear a fight is one of the best moments that you will probably have in the game if you like raiding. I remember when I cleared, I really wanted to drop down onto the floor and just lay down in relief because I knew that my clear for one hell was finally over. I spent so many days with a clear for one. Oh, it was so bad. There are tons of good raiders out there, and there are also tons of bad ones. So always just believe in yourself and know and work on what you can do. You can't control other people's actions. Parties will disband. People will kick you. That's just an inevitable fact. But it's all kind of a progress or process. But anyways, I wish you all luck in your endeavors. I wish you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. See ya.
I dream about times I wished for a new, happier day. If a hand could reach out right now and save my life somehow, I'll face the sun again as soon